Okay, on that last video, I left you on a bit of a cliffhanger, so let's get back to it. We're entering the endgame in this win by Magnus Carlsen, a match between two chess grandmasters on chess.com. Now, I backed up a few steps, and I'm just going to continue from this moment in the game all the way through to the endgame. So here, white bishop has just captured black pawn on c6. Black rook captures white pawn on f2. And then you'll remember the white king is now on the move. First capturing the black rook on f2, and the beginning of the end starts. So now the black knight on d3 puts the white king in check, but because the king has to move in order to follow the rules of a check, which is you have to get out of check if you're in check, this leaves the white rook for the taking on c1. So naturally the white king moves to f3, and the black knight captures the white rook on c1. Here's where things get interesting. So the white bishop now moves to e4. Standard move wants to protect the white king. Black king moves up to f7. White pawn moves down to h4. Both sides have 3 pawns left, so it's liable to be a bloodbath. Now, black knight is on the move all the way to b3, probably setting up a potential check or a capture plan for this white bishop. White pawn now moves down to g4. Black pawn challenges on g5, threatening the white pawn on h4. White pawn responds by capturing and putting themselves in danger with no protection. But black decides not to take, and instead they move their black knight up to d2. Because that put the king in check again, the white king is now moved to f4. And again, this strategy puts the white bishop in complete jeopardy because the king has to move in order to satisfy the check, though I doubt that Magnus Carlsen, who is black in this game, is going to take this white bishop. Yes, instead he follows through with the capture of the white pawn, which he has left hanging there. And now the king is in check again from this black pawn, and I imagine the white king will take the black pawn. Interesting, so white king instead goes to e5. Black king is now on e7. White bishop advances upwards to d3. Now the white king is in check again with the black knight, who is now on f3. White king seems to have had enough of the black knight and comes right up on him. So now the white king's on e4, threatening the black knight on f3. But instead of sacrificing the piece, black knight flees all the way to h4 in a completely protected zone. White king moves down the board to e5. Now black knight is continuing the pattern. As the king moves up and down, the black knight's moving back and forth. White king is now again in check. White king continues its same pattern. Black, sensing that it needs to do something different, moves to the top of the board all the way to e1. White bishop follows suit, moving to b1. Black king moves to d6, potentially gearing up for a black knight check of the white king. White bishop puts the black pawn in jeopardy. I feel like I'm doing tongue twisters. Black knight advances to c2. White bishop advances to b3. Black knight advances to b4. White bishop advances to c4. Black bishop advances to c6. Now the white bishop has threatened the black knight. It is advanced to b5. But instead, because the black king had been moved earlier, the black knight can move directly below the white king on e5 because the black knight knows that if the white king captures, it cannot, because then it would end the game. It's going to be physically unable to capture on chess.com because it doesn't allow you to do moves that you can't do. Thus, this move right next to the king, which would ordinarily capture in other circumstances, if that black king wasn't there, it's a safe move. Now, white bishop flees to the bottom of the board on e8. Black knight continues its pattern of going to g4. White king, recognizing the pattern, begins to flee, goes to d4. Finally allowing for the black pawn to advance, which goes to e5, now threatening the white king. White king flees further to c3. Now, I feel like at this point, given that the opponent only has 7 seconds left on the clock, Magnus Carlsen has a full 45 seconds. We know how quickly Magnus makes his moves. It is likely that out of respect for Magnus that the opponent will likely resign. I would imagine within the next few moves. So let's see what happens. Okay, so he resigned literally the next move, giving the win to Magnus Carlsen.